Saint Daniel of the parking lot, help me find a parking spot. Is you is or is you not? Saint Daniel of the parking lot. All those who are requesting convenient parking, all those who are seeking their sunglasses, all those who are tearing up the bathroom and the bedroom for their misplaced keys, do not worry, they will be there. And you will have them soon. Everybody, carte blanche, even the folks who other folks would feel are not deserving of the attention of this trivial Saint Daniel of the parking lot, today will retrieve because there is a reprieve. A reprieve from requirements. It is no fault, give away the trivial stuff day at the Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints. All will be found in good time. I walk with spirits. They take my hand as we get near the promised land. My brothers, my sister, but not alone. I walk with spirits. They take me home. I walk with spirits. They have my ear. They speak, I hear it. The message clear. My brothers, my sisters, we are not alone. I walk with spirits. They take me home. Don't cry for family. Don't cry for self. There's a world we know it, and there's something else. Welcome, welcome, everyone, to this meeting of the congregation of the Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints. There's a lot of right here, a lot of and a lot of love. More than enough, more than enough, more than enough, so we will not shove anyone away. Like a hand, like a glove, like a fist, like a dove. Any other thing I can think of that rhymes with of, I will say during the course of this sermon, this time we have together. I do want to say also that the response from the last sermon, the last episode, the last service of the Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints was a delightful, if not sometimes heated response, and I do appreciate all of the parishioners and all of the practitioners and all of the doubters and all of the skeptics and everyone who threw in their 2 cents. Sometimes it was 25 cents. Sometimes it was a whole dollar's worth of information given to me about my presentation of the questions, which we will continue today because it was so delightful. I just basically got so much joy from answering these questions that, well, if you don't agree, then give me more feedback. If you don't agree, then subscribe. You have more power on this channel subscribing. This is an opinion, but maybe it's worthy of a question. Maybe I understand now why sometimes controversy is a good thing. Maybe I understand right now that when they say there is no such thing as bad publicity. Maybe I understand now that why it is so necessary to put the ego in the trunk, because after such a response from last week's sermon, if I was egotistical, I would have been patting myself on the back. If I was egotistical, I would have been taking credit for responding to the questions that St. Daniel himself, with his own hand, jotted down in this little notebook. I have not yet inquired about, as to the exact nature, what prompted the questions, what book he was reading, what show he was watching, what lecture he was listening to. I did not even attempt to find out. All I have is the questions and my answer to the questions. And rather than the questions eliciting the response to this broadcast of our sermon, I understood it immediately to be the reason. I understood the nature of the response to be as the result of my answering the questions. Another bad sentence. I promise to everybody here, I will be working on my sentence construction as soon as this podcast or video or YouTube or sermon or service, whatever it's called, as soon as this is finished, I'm going to work on my sentence construction. I have hired a tutor to help me enunciate correctly, to help me sort out my thoughts and construct them so you would understand them better, because a lot of times I realize I'm confusing. when I try to say something. So let's make it simple. Rather than thinking you're responding to whatever prompted the questions, I have chosen to think you're responding to my answer to those questions. That's much better. Took a couple of sentences. Though I'm probably mistaken, it's probably the questions. And now that I've calmed down and understand that that ego needs to stay in the trunk, I am going to appreciate your response to these questions. And I'm also hoping that you have taken these questions and asked yourself the very same question and have your own response to your circumstance and your position pertaining these questions. We're going to ask some more. I'm going to answer some. I'm going to give you my answers. I have a line in from the tutor. The tutor may help me in my explanation of these questions. Oh, I like this. Time and impermanence. Finite and valuable. Okay, it's hard sometimes to read St. Daniel's writing. Time and impermanence, finite and valuable. This life ephemeral and precious. Well, I don't know. That's not really a question as I see it. It's a statement. Time and impermanence, finite and valuable. As valuable as finite time and impermanence is, the infinite is also valuable. The perspective that St. Daniel gives us as to time and impermanence is most valuable because he is our bridge. He is our bridge from the finite to the infinite. He is our bridge from the temporary to the permanent. He is our bridge to space and time. He's the master of space and time. Much like Mad Dogs and Englishmen, not Noel Coward, but Leon Russell. The Mad Dogs and Englishmen tour with Joe Cocker. They were also masters of space and time. Oh, how I love that bogus tour film where they had Harry Dean Stanton playing, I think it was him, or Dean Stockwell, my bad. I think it was Dean Stockwell. So long ago when I watched this. I love this Mad Dogs and Englishmen. You know, this period of filming in staged, rehearsed, staged, improvised scenes, which was the precursor to reality TV. It wasn't real, but it was pretend real. Some stuff was real, but it was pretend some stuff is real also. So, but it was a cool movie for me when I was a youngster wanting to get into the rock and roll world, the R&B world, looking at people who were kind of like third and fourth generation rockers coming in to put horns into the mix, soul it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Mix it up a little bit, integrate it a lot to where, you know, I can't remember the diversity situation, but there were a lot of white people and a lot of black people and a few other multicolored people involved with it. I don't want to get into that, but sometimes when you're talking about stuff, it's kind of hard to get into that. And I have to think about impermanence and time and how in this period of time, everything that's happening in this period in time is influencing on this plane another period in time where, even I am finding fault with past periods of time because they are not structured like this period of time ought to be structured, even though this period of time is not structured the way it ought to be. But hopefully, by the time this impermanent period of time passes, when we get to a future period of time that's also impermanent, we will, and this is maybe the royal we, or the general we, or the collective consciousness we, because this we as a corporal bodily form will probably cease to be a we and will be up there or across that barrier somewhere, hopefully working for St. Daniel of the parking lot, being some kind of bridge also, at least maybe, perhaps, the gatekeeper at the toll bridge, perhaps the troll, the original meaning of the troll, like that creature living under the bridge. I will be the not quite right Reverend Troll, Joespeh Finga Smyth. Perhaps that will be that. But anyway, in that future period of impermanent time, the collective we will look back on this period of impermanent time and judge it to be lacking, I'm sure. Not as enlightened as the future. Perhaps they will agree, perhaps not. Not as dark as our more distant past. The Joe Cocker tour called Mad Dogs and Englishmen, not Noel Coward. Mad Dogs and Englishmen, Leon Russell. She came in through the bathroom window arrangement of and many songs that were rousing, the letter, stuff like that, and Let's Go Get Stoned, and all kinds of covers that were done in unique and original ways. Some Bob Dylan song, If You See Your Hair Hanging Down, Girl from the North Country. I remember all that well. And there were times in my life I would have told you I was there, which I wasn't. I was in the movie theater watching the film. But my version of reality, much like that tour version of reality, much like reality TV's version of reality, was skewed to the way I wanted it to be. And I wanted it to be there. But I'm here now, just like Ram Dass was here now. I'm throwing them all in, people. I'm throwing them all in. I had another life that I lived at a time where it was impermanent. This time seems more permanent because I have less permanent time on this plane left. And so I'm gilding and gliding more towards a certain type of permanence for my remaining years on this planet before I go and join the person. The person, he's still an entity. He's still a spirit person. He's neither God, demigod. He's not even on the Hercules status, where he was the son of a god and the son of a human. St. Daniel was just human. St. Daniel is just human. He's spiritified. Spiritified. That's my new word, spiritified. I made it up. No, you cannot correct me, Ms. Linguist. You cannot correct me because I just made that up. Spiritified. Certified, spiritified, certified, spiritified. St. Daniel is still human, just in spirit form. There's not much substance. Of course, there wasn't that much substance to St. Daniel when he was alive. That's what I get from people who knew him. He became, the closer he got to taking the next step, the more he became saint-like, became deeper, became more of a permanent fixture in an impermanent plane. All right, enough of that gobbledygook, mixed up garbage talk. That's what it is. It just doesn't mean anything other than he's the man. He's the man. He's not a God. He's the man. He's a saint. He's not a God. He's up there working for the main man, the main creative, up there. Let's just call him the main creative. Let's not even put him he. We're not even going to go with a pronoun. Creative, creation, creative. I'm watching out. I'll say creative because I don't want to get anywhere. I'm finding out that I just want to play both ends against the middle. We talked about that last week. But if I get, and I've always been afraid to bring up other stuff because I do not want, but now maybe I do because of the response. But at first I did not want to think, anybody to think that I was taking any side on any issue. Sometimes I got to take a stand. I got to tell you St. Daniel's a man. So I got to tell you also that he's working for something, that he's been assigned by something, some kind of essence up there, some kind of ethereal kind of quality. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it. I want to put a sex to it. I want to put some kind of old school gender identification with it. I want to do that to this essence, this creative essence, this willingness to allow St. Daniel to tell you where things are. So this is what I'm trying to sort out, people, is how to do this. I know the 43 are all right with it. As far as I know, it's remained at 43. I know the 43 are all right with the way I'm doing it. And St. Daniel knows that I'm okay with 43. I'm okay with 43. But St. Daniel says he would like this message to get, well, not necessarily get, because the message is getting through. Have you ever been through those radio spots for publicly funded radio? I'm not talking about the TV spots where they have for publicly funded TV, where they got people talking to you about diet, or they got like the oldies show. You know, even old for me. Even oldies for me, they were old when I was young. And they're older now, and they're doing these oldies show so you can donate to public TV. Take TV out of there. Take TV out of there. We're talking about radio, where they say, we got like 155 million listeners, and only 0.001% donate. I'm not even asking for donations. I'm asking for subscriptions where you don't have to pay anything. If you want to throw a couple of dollars at the PayPal for Joe Fingers, because that goes to Joe Fingers, PayPal at J Fingers. If you want to throw that in there, go ahead, be my guest. He could use the money, believe me, he can use the money. But with me, I'm asking for nothing except to subscribe. Because I know that the 43 people who are listening, the 43 people who are subscribed are my listeners. I know I brought them here. I know St. Daniel brought them here. So, are you the 0.001% who subscribes? Because that's what we have here. You don't have to pay anything. I'm going to give stuff away. I meant to have it here, but it's not ready. It's a great surprise. I'm going to give stuff away. Subscribe, like, comment. Like, there's been so many comments. They haven't necessarily punched the like or I think maybe they punched a dislike in the subscription. But any publicity is good publicity for this church. We give stuff to you. We ask for nothing. We give stuff to you. We give parking lots. We give you back your glasses. We give you back your keys. We give you back your compassion and your empathy for other people, less and more fortunate than us. Even the more fortunate people need compassion too. Less and more. We focus on the less, but we remember the more. Less is not more, necessarily. but less is less and more is more. And they deserve our compassion. That's what it is. I'm going to get to another question, because that's one of the things I hate about public radio is the interruption saying, please donate. I don't need the donations, so you can donate to Joe Fingers. Please subscribe, comment, like and comment. We're going with the likes. We like to be liked. Everyone likes to be liked. Okay, what is this? What needs to change to make the best use of time on earth? What needs to change to make... You tell me. You tell me, people. Let's do a B flat chord. That's time on earth, baby. What needs to change to make the most of time on earth? Time on earth. Yeah, yeah. How you gonna make it better? Hey, wow, how you gonna do it? How you gonna make it better? Your time here on earth. When your end comes, will you think it's been worth every cent you shelled out on every game you played? Every time you wonder, am I ever getting laid? Are you gonna make it worthwhile your time on earth? Did you think about your partner as a human being, or just someone you can use, if you know what I mean? Someone you can blame for everything gone bad, or someone you can name who gave you the best life you could ever have. Oh, hey, how you gonna spend your life on earth? Are you gonna be skinny with it? Are you gonna give it a wide berth? Are you gonna accept people, accept them for what they are? Are you gonna get mad and start punching? You're gonna get many scars, leave a few too. When you're sitting down, will you sing a song, or will you complain about everything that's gone wrong? Will you see When in doubt, baby, sing it out. When in doubt, sing it out. When in doubt, sing it out. Sing it. Live it. Give it up. That's what I want my life to be. Given up for the purpose of delivering the message that your trivial gift counts for something. And I'm not talking about subscription, and I'm not talking about donation, because I've been talking about that too much. Your trivial gift, whatever it is, whether it's providing parking spots, whether it's providing a helping hand, whether it's providing a pretty picture drawn on a wall, not the walls you're not supposed to draw on. You'll get thrown out of establishments that way. We don't want to be thrown out of anywhere. We want to be welcomed. So as long as it's appropriate to draw on a wall, I draw on my walls. I draw all over my walls because it's my walls. It's my house. It's my walls. I paint and I draw on them. So if you want to draw on some walls, you either get permission or commission. It'd be good to get commission and permission. You get commission, then you get permission to draw on the walls. That's how we do it. We take the proper steps. We do it quietly. We don't make a big deal. You don't walk into the bank. Well, I saw this once, so that's what I'm saying, walking. You don't want to walk into the bank, and I'm going to use my name because I don't want to name the person, because I'm trying to be nice. I don't like the person. But he walked in the bank, and he says, "Oh, don't you know who I am? My name is Joespeh. They're not quite right. Joespeh Smyth. And I am coming to get a loan, and you might know me because I'm the big shot around here." The person didn't know Joespeh Smyth. Well, let me talk to your manager because I know your manager knows me. Is it Bart? Well, no, Bart doesn't work here anymore. It has something to do with embezzling. I don't want to have anything to do with him. I always knew he was a scoundrel. It is a good thing that you have gotten rid of that man. I hope he's under the jail. I would like to talk to your manager because I want to take out a loan. So that's how he was, big shot. So we're not doing that. We don't do that. I don't know if this guy got a loan. I do know that this guy is not in good circumstance right now. That's good enough for me. And I think it's what some people call karma. What I call it is St. Daniel will not return your call because your behavior towards other people is appalling. There is one day, 1 year, when there is a reprieve, and I believe that day has passed for this year. And those people who do not give St. Daniel any credit are usually the big shots who think they are that they are better than St. Daniel, that they are too good to request anything. They think they can bulldoze and bully people into giving them what they want. They think they can do that. So St. Daniel shows them in his quiet way, that you cannot do that to him. And here's how the real, not quite right, Joespeh Smyth got his last loan. He went in and said, "Hello, how may I inquire? Oh, by the way, I would like to give you my credentials as a reverend, and would like to also say that this is a beautiful day, and I'm so glad to be here. And who would I inquire to as to get a loan for my church?" And they were so happy to help me. And I immediately got to talk with the loan officer. And they immediately let me know that as of yet, I'm not qualified for the loan for this church because technically I'm not yet registered as a church, as a nonprofit entity, which probably would not require a loan if I was registered as a church. I mean, at least that was the rationale that they were telling me. Because, and I took it to mean with my dignified and reverential personality that I should have no problem gathering enough congregants to provide the church every material need. Let's put it this way. Once again, I have the person telling me about the sentence. I should have no trouble making sure that the church is well maintained and well funded because of my personality. Not so much my linguistic skills when it comes to explaining things. But I'm, what they say, what I can't explain, I dress up in all kinds of BS. I'm pretty good at that. And that's what I think they meant. And they shuffled me off, and there was no disturbance. And I didn't have to make a lot of noise. I still didn't get what I want. But, neither does Mick Jagger, apparently, nor Keith Richards. Joe Cocker, sometimes he seemed like he was doing a pretty good job on that movie, getting what he wanted. But I know sometimes he did not. Because, I stuck with Joe Cocker for a long time. I didn't tour with him. That's what I told a couple of young ladies when I was a little younger. But the whole thing is, how do you want your life to be lived while you're here on this temporary plane? And I would like to be a little less of a poser and more of a true seeker of enlightenment. Hence, my willingness to become a disciple of St. Daniel's. Okay, I'm going to take off my glasses here. Demonstrating compassion. Well, I think that in the pursuit of enlightenment, I can't help but demonstrate compassion. And hopefully, as I become more enlightened, I will demonstrate some compassion. Because I would be hypocritical if I said I was demonstrating compassion when the next sentence is, I can't believe what Joe Fingers just did to me. So it's hard for me to tell you I'm a compassionate man when every week I have to deal with that annoying hemorrhoid known as Joe Fingers. Sometimes I wish that I could voluntarily channel St. Daniel at any time, at any place, to deal with his biological brother and other people like him. For instance, I do not live here. I reside in a humble trailer. I will not give the address, but it is a trailer. It is a single wide, and I have a utility bill to pay. Every month I have the water, and every month I have the electricity. Now, it is much easier to pay the water bill and the electricity. I have to go either mail the water bill or go and deliver the funds directly to the office, the utility office, the water or sewage office. And I pay that on a monthly basis. It used to be with the electric that I could go to the actual electric company and pay the bill. No more. And since I do not have a debit card yet, and once again, one of the reasons I do not have a church debit card is because I have dropped the ball or have not even picked up the ball to register this church as an actual church in good state of Florida standing, hence no bank account, hence no debit card, hence no possible credit card under the title of Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints. Subsequently, I used to have to go and pay in cash. And I used to be late. A lot of times because money was hard to come by at that time. And I used to go in and I used to always run into this woman. It was a woman. I mean, that was before, I was certain. I was pretty certain as I could be that she was a woman. And this woman did not seem to like me very much. Went over my bill because I was late, and went over my bill and scrutinized every little bit of it and would inquire to me as to why I was late. And I would say, I have church business to attend to. And she said, uh-huh. She said, and what church are you minister of? And I said, I am the head minister of the Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints. And she go, sounds like a made-up name to me. And I said, of course, madam, I made it up because I made it up. I made it up because the church needed a name and needed a name to describe exactly what type of church it was. And it is. And it is the Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints. And you notice my voice was rising. And she said, uh-huh. And she said, do you think you're a good example as of a minister by being late on your electric payments? And I said, it was not my intention to be late. I did everything I could do, worked day labor, took an extra job as a bouncer, a ministerial bouncer at the ministerial nightclub. I did everything I could do, worked for tips. As a ministerial dancer up on stage, didn't make many tips, but they liked my garments. So I made a couple of dollars. I worked night and day and also had prepared my sermon, but I was still late. I'm getting more angry. And every time I walked in, I'd be more angry because she'd be standing there. And she says, Mr. Reverend, give me your reason for being late. And then one day I was so late that I had 2 payments that I was requested to make, but I only had to make 1. And she said, no, it says right here you have 2. And I said, yes, it has the late payment, it has the present payment. But it says, if you would like to pay the late payment only, press this button. But that is for the computer, sir, she said. Where is your computer? And I said, I have no computer. I don't even have enough money to pay the electric bill on time. Where am I going to get the computer? And I was not reverential, and I wanted to swear at her. I wanted to take God's name in vain and throw it at her. I wanted to take the pen in my hand and start, I won't go into that. I didn't do it. And she said, that is for computer only. You have to pay us the full price or electric's off. So I went and got a check, cash and loan. just to pay the whole bill. Then I was in deep on that. I won't even go into the title loan business. We're not even going to go into that. I have a song for that, and I'm not going to go into it. But I'm telling you what, I've had my trials and my tribulations, and I learned that if I would have been patient, if I had said, I'm going to go and see if I can find a computer so I could only pay the one bill, and then give the person who loaned me the computer the money to put in their account so we could use their debit card to pay that bill. If I had been smart, if I had been patient, if I had been humble, if I had been quiet, then I would have been the greatest representative for St. Daniel there had ever been. Now, is it okay now that they shut down all the public service and, the face-to-face public kiosks to go and pay your bill, except at Walmart? I can pay it at Walmart now. That's why I still don't need a debit card. Go and pay it at Walmart. Am I going to say I didn't take a little bit of joy in her losing her job? I would be a lion if I said that. But really, I don't know for sure if she lost her job. I feel bad if any good person lost their job, but this person is okay. I don't think she did her job unless her job was to irritate men of the cloth. And I am a man, and I am of the cloth. Anyway, I digress. I got one more question. I'm losing track of time, but the only thing I know about time is it's not permanent. It continues. And time and space just may be an illusion. I might kind of believe that. And that there's other dimensions that we don't know about. I'm certain I've been there. I'm certain that St. Daniel has taken me there. I'm certain that chemicals have taken me there. I'm certain that I'm there right now, for all I know. I'm not certain about that. It said, for all I know. I'm not certain. Practicing action, knowledge, and devotion. Now, I don't know how I can practice knowledge, but I know how I can practice devotion. I'm devoted to this. Every week, I'm here. Every day, I'm here. Every night, I'm here. Every day and every night. Sort of like patty cake, hand jive. We're going to call it both. Patty cake, hand jive. That's what it is. My patty cake, hand jive. Now, people, here's how we practice it. S.P.Lot. Get your ducks in a row. Except for that one day reprieve. Get your ducks in a row, and this is how you know they're in a row. And what have you done today to help the person who needs help? What have you done today to be willing to help the person who doesn't need help? What have you done to dig into your pocket, take out your spare change, and give it to someone else who needs it more than you? Yeah, we're all selfish SOBs at times. All selfish, all self-centered, all wondering what's in it for me. Well, the only thing in it for you from time to time, if you're humble enough, is you're going to find a parking spot, you're going to find your keys, you're going to find your glasses. You're going to have enough spare change in your pocket to give it away. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away. Give it up. Give it up. Say it, live it, give it up. Say it, live it, give it up. Put that ego in the trunk where it belongs, with the other bodies, where it belongs, where they belong. Might be some power and light body in that trunk. I don't know. Along with my ego. All I know is when I had to stop dealing with her, my ego had a better time, had an easier time leaving. That's all I know. That's all I know. And for a long, long time, I was not privy to any parking lot options except 2 miles away from this studio. You know, you play, you pay. Even the not quite right reverend has to pay his dues. Even the snooty power lady has to pay her dues. So we all pay dues, and we all reap benefits and rewards if we practice what we preach. All right. I'm not going to say I'm sorry. I'm going to demonstrate my contrition by ending this YouTube broadcast. Please, Daniel, please, don't make me sit through one of these. I'm just begging you, pretty please, find a parking spot for me. I've subscribed and I've hit like. I've done everything you did. You asked me to. Well, I've done everything you asked me to. Sorry, I was running on to the next verse, or two or three. That's how it is with me. I wanna move ahead too fast. Sometimes I don't wanna last in this spot too long, especially when the Reverend's singing that song. I gotta go, gotta get along. Please, Daniel, please, find a parking spot for me. I'm not handicapped, but I got my needs. Find a parking spot for me. I subscribed, I commented, I liked. Now all I wanna do is not have to hike 3 miles to the store when I could get there in 10 or 15 steps. I pay my dues. Now I wanna rep the benefits. Now I wanna reap and sow. And that's why I'm singing this song. The Reverend told me that's how to go. Please, Daniel, please, find a parking spot for me. I'm not crippled, but I got my knees handicapped, sorry. Please, Daniel, please. Please, Daniel, please. Maybe not even handicapped. I'm not impaired physically, but I have my needs. Contrition requires more than apology. S. Dot, P. Lot, S. Dot, P. Lot, S. Dot, P. Lot. S. Dot, P. Lot. One day, I hope you will visit us again.